Now let's look at some of the rules which are enshrined in the Vienna Convention on Laws of Treaties. The first rule is that if there is a treaty which is in force, it is binding on the parties. And not only is it binding on the parties, but both the parties to the treaty must perform their functions in good faith. Right? Now, how do you interpret various terms which are there in the treaty? The meaning which should be given to the terms in the treaty should be given in the context in which they appear. Okay? In light of the object and purpose of the treaty. The first and the foremost object and the purpose of treaty is to avoid double taxation. Right? So when interpreting any terms, the idea should be that what was the context in which these terms were included in the treaty? What is the object of the treaty? What is the purpose of the treaty? And any interpretation which kind of works in synchronization with these three should be the way in which a particular term should be interpreted. What are some of the supplementary means which can be used for the implementation of the treaty or the interpretation of the treaty? The conclusion circumstances, right? At the time when the treaty was entered into, what were the circumstances which were lying there? The preparatory work, right? The notes of discussion, speech of the finance minister, or the CBDT press release. All these three can be used as aids to interpretation, right? Correspondence between the contracting states. What was the discussion that happened between the two contracting states at the time of entering into a treaty? Which model commentary should be used for interpreting a treaty? The model commentary that should be used is the one on which the treaty itself is modeled. So if a treaty is modeled on the OECD convention, use the OECD model commentary as a basis of interpreting the treaty. If there is a treaty which has been authenticated in two or more language, in that case equal authority should be given to both the languages unless the parties have specifically agreed that the treaty in one language will be given preference over the other.